We are back for another episode of Peeled. Jared Walsh, Daniel Norton. It's great to see you.
Yeah, likewise, Walshy. Great to be back. Love this time of the year, and I'm looking forward to our next podcast today.
Yeah. I'm buzzing about this. I remind people that I've got daughters, and I'm a really proud girl dad.
Yes.
Like, I get emotional when I think about my kids.
You are so, and you should be so proud.
I just love being a father to daughters, and what I love seeing is people that are leading and inspiring them, and I'm very specific when I say this, for whatever my daughters choose to do. I don't want to push them into anything. I just want them to do what makes them happy. And at the moment, my eldest, what makes her happy is iPad, and my youngest eating basically chicken nuggets for breakfast.
I'm jealous because I've got three boys. I've got three sons, and I wanted one daughter, but I'm very grateful with what I've got.
Just keep going. You've got three, mate.
I'll end up having twin boys again. There'll be five of them.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Today, we are very lucky to be joined by the third captain of the AFLW Premier. I was going to say Premiers. Let's just do that. Hey, let's just call it early and say
let's manifest it.
Let's
forecast.
Put it on our vision board. It is very, very exciting. You've spent a bit of time with our guest, and you can't speak highly enough of her.
Yeah, I love. It's Justine Mules-Robinson, who of course was appointed a couple of months ago as you pointed out, the captain of Port Adelaide's AFLW team. I love honour boards, and Justine's name is going to be on the Port Adelaide honour board forever as captain of the AFLW team. Little things like that go down in history of a club that's 155 years old. I just find those. It's important. It's compelling. This is history, and she should be so proud of where she's come from, because she's had some challenges in recent times as well, which we'll go through a little bit later on.
Yep, we'll talk about leadership. We will talk about the state of the game, and we'll make animal noises. That's all we're just gonna leave it at that part, all right? So let's I don't even know how to do the introduction, because there's so many ways you can call a captain. So let's just start with that. Enjoy. I don't really know how to do this introduction. So do I say Justine? Do I say El Capitan? Do I say skipper? Do I say leader? I mean, how would you like to be introduced?
Let's do El Capitan.
El Capitan. Now, Norts, I'm assuming this is captain number 3 for our AFLW team at the Port Adelaide Football Club, which is, wow.
Steeped in tradition.
What an honour.
155 years in the making, the Port Adelaide Football Club. And El Capitan is wearing the number 1 for the third time in terms of the AFLW journey. What a huge honour, Justine, as of course you join us today. Jumping straight into it, how does it feel to captain the Port Adelaide Football Club, a club that's got so much history and yet such an early stage of its AFLW journey?
Pretty unbelievable, to be honest. Obviously, following in the footsteps of Erin and JC, and I can't believe I'm number 3rd to be the captain at Port Adelaide. And obviously, you touch base on the history there, and I guess just the significance and importance it actually means to the club. Like, not many clubs would do this kind of thing to have the number 1 as your captain. So I feel very, very privileged and honoured and very special.
How does it all come about? Like, different football clubs have different ways of understanding leaders. I mean, do you put your hand up and say, I want this? Or is it the team gets together and goes, we want you to want this?
So there's a bit of a formal process for this year. So it was, you had to put your hand in the ring, essentially, and fill out an application, so to speak. And there's quite a few questions in there that spoke about what you can bring to the club, how you manage some difficult conversations, provide some examples as well. So once you did that, from that process, that was sent through to the I guess hierarchy of the broader program. From there was a 2-minute conversation that you had to present to our players and our staff. And there's about 14 of us who put our hands up. So it's a full 2-minute conversation in front of the group about what you bring. I guess, your own little suave, your own little personalities, your skills, what you think you can deliver for this group. And then from there was a full 3-2-1 vote. Then and there, literally didn't have time to think about it. Straight after the girls got up on stage, essentially, and performed, it was get your phone out, do the QR code, and type away about who you want for the leaders for this group.
Yeah. You had a bit of a dress rehearsal, though, didn't you, last year when Janelle unfortunately went down, and I think it was round 2 in that game at the MCG. did that give you the experience that you felt like you could do this, full time?
Yeah, like I was voted as vice captain last year, and I thought that's an absolute honour. Wasn't even expecting that, to be honest. And then, unfortunately, when JC went down, I thought, oh, bugger, I'm going to have to do the pre-game speeches. I'm not very good at speaking. So that was a bit of a shock, and I had to learn to swim rather than sink straight away. And it was just more about getting into my mind about, I guess, pre-warning myself and getting myself ready to think, oh, God, what am I going to say to these girls, at pre-game and then halftime as well. So it's more, that was probably the scariest part of everything. But then JC, she managed to lead off the field as well. And then I just continued to step up where I could during game days.
I want to ask about leadership at around round 5, round 6, whenever Gather Round was in 2025. I had an evening where I got to sit with Tom Jonas, Travis Boak and Connor Rosie. And I asked Connor about how he was going being the captain. And it was one of the most powerful things that I've heard, because he was vulnerable enough to say, I struggle with it at times. And he was courageous enough to say, it's not the on-field stuff, but the off-field responsibility that a captain has to make sure that the players that you play with all have different needs, understandings. They have triggers in the way that you communicate to them. They have families. Some of them don't. Some of them have broken families. Some have kids. Like, it's all this other kind of stuff. How did you experience that last year? But then how are you planning to experience it in the coming season to be able to go, there's so much that you have to do as a captain. It's not just wearing that number 1 Guernsey.
No, and that's exactly right. Like, I think we're people first, and I like to get to know each individual on a deeper level, and understanding what words I need to say to them on field to get them out of their heads, and then understanding, if they walk into training, they've had a shit day, I can read that straight off, and I go, right, mate, what do you need from me? What do you need from us leaders to make sure that you're here to train, and get themselves out of that funk in their head. So it's definitely reminding us that they are people first and understanding what they need to get ready for training, because as soon as they cross over that line, I need them ready to perform. I need them to have that, that white red line fever, whatever you want to call it, that animal in them. So I need them to be in a position to put that aside, whatever they're dealing with, and then come ready to train and to perform. But definitely understanding what each girl needs in terms of how they learn, how they react to feedback, that be constructive, or just understanding what words I need to say to each different girl is exhausting. But I think as long as I build that relationship, either being just a leader or also a friend, and I like to think these girls are my younger sisters as well. So being able to have those tough conversations, I know I can do so because I've already built that relationship there.
So who does that for you? If you have to take care of everyone, who's taking care of you?
My wife.
Beautiful.
No, honestly, like, I've got all the assistant coaches, they know what I need as well, and I make sure that I delegate onto our vice captains and all our other leaders as well. I know that in order for me to succeed, I need to make sure that I look after myself, and I make sure I rely on everyone else. I know we don't just have 8 of us leaders. I know that all the girls can lead. They can all lead by example. Some girls want that power, so I make sure that, some of the young ones like Molly Brooksby, she didn't put her hand in for the leadership vote, but I said, mate, I need you to do this for me because I trust her, and I know that I can rely on some of the young 18, 19-year-olds to step up in that way.
It's a fascinating insight because, as Walshy points out, you're always on as a leader. You have to be on because you're role modelling the energy, the enthusiasm, the feedback models that you want the program to work to. So you've always got to be on. Plus, you've got to prepare for yourself to play well and to look after yourself, because at Port Adelaide in particular, the club leaders are the ones that perform on the field as well as off the field. So you are always going to be on, Juzzy. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think because I'm still working full time and my job is quite stressful, so I come to the club and that's my safe space. That's where I can really relax and let loose. So I like to tell the girls, like, look, yeah, I've had a crap day at work, but this is my fun time. I'm with you girls, and you're going to get the best out of me right now because I'm in a position that I can put that day aside and then just come here and have fun.
This is a podcast where we can be real, and we've got the safe space to do that. I love the fact that, like, I'm a father of daughters, and I've got an almost 9-year-old and an almost 5-year-old, and I love that they can actually see what they can be. We know it's a traditional line that has been used with a lot of sports, especially with the world game. But something that isn't spoken about enough, I reckon, is women having a safe space to say what pisses you off about being a professional athlete. Now, you just speaking then and talking about you're working a full-time job and then going and doing these things. You're working just as hard as the men. You're sacrificing so much more than the men when it's also sacrificing yourself if you decide that you want to carry a child one day and things like that. So I wanted to ask that side of things. What's hard for you about being a female professional athlete? As much as the game has grown and the league has grown, there's still a long way to go. Are you comfortable sharing some of the things that annoy you?
Look, I'm a very positive person, probably sometimes too positive, and I love, I'm very grateful for the position that I'm in.
Yep.
So there's a lot of sacrifices that I make, but it's never a burden to me because I'm just like, if I want to be an athlete, this is what I need to do. So I don't see it as a frustrating point. Obviously, some girls growing up now and being in the position that they are 18, 19 to play at an elite level, they're probably thinking like, why am I working? Like, why is she still going out there doing her, 6:30 to 2:30 day job when she could, I guess, essentially be a full-time athlete? But I know my career is at the back end, so I'm just doing what I need to do to make sure once footy's over, I'm still got a great job, a great career ahead of me. But like in the off season, I'm at the gym at 4:30 in the morning, like doing what I need to do so that I can go to work and come home and relax. So obviously a little bit frustrating if I wanted to compare it, but I don't want to compare it because I'm not in that position to do so. Hopefully the girls in a few years, they might be able to have that equal level playing field, equal lifestyle. But like I said, I'm just very grateful. So I don't want to.
Okay, so let me then rephrase that and say, do you think and there's enough empathy for the women footballers who have been playing football their whole lives and haven't had the opportunities which are now being presented? Because there are so many that have just been sacrificing and screaming out for equality and screaming out to get paid and all this stuff. And now there's a young group of women who are reaping the rewards of that. But there are custodians of the game that have been doing it silently for so long. Do we talk about them enough?
No, we don't. And I don't think we talk about, like you said, the custodians or the trailblazers who have got from AFLW from season 1 to season 10. When I started playing in, season 1, it was pocket money. Like it was just, hey, let's just play footy with a little bit of cash on the side, and we were just honoured to do so. So I think the girls probably don't understand how lucky and privileged they are now to be in a position that they can just play footy full time and they can study at the same time as well. Like I remember being at university and having 2 jobs just to have some sort of income. But now these girls are elite athletes. They've got good money coming through that they can, live their best life at such a young age and they grow up to be footballers. Like you said, you can't be what you can't see. So the fact that the girls are now in a position at, say, 12, 13, playing local footy, that one day, I can actually be a professional athlete. So it's really exciting, and I'm just grateful that I was a part of that journey.
I love your sense of gratitude. You're almost appreciative of what you've got as opposed to what you might not have had. Tell us about where your footy journey began, because as part of this conversation, we're talking about the era where a lot of females stopped playing at around the age of 13 or 14. You think of the Erin Phillips, and then had to come back through a different pathway through basketball. And you're a similar vintage, a bit younger, of course, than Erin, but you're sort of in that same sort of era. Where did football start for you? And when you started playing, did you think there was ever going to be a pathway through to a national competition?
No, I remember like kicking the footy at home and just like, this is great. Like, on a Sunday with my dad and my friends, how good's this? And then going into playing at school, well, I didn't actually get to play football at school because it wasn't allowed. It didn't come until like 2009 where you could do it for a little bit of as a PE class. So we tried to do like a bit of a, everyone sign their signature, get their autograph going to try and, implement it at school. But it kind of just got dismissed straight away. So I didn't start playing club football until I was about 20. So I've only, about 19, 20. So I've only been playing footy for the last 11 years. And I was just honoured that one of my friends who I dropped out of uni, she's like, come play footy with me just so we can catch up. That was really my gateway into playing AFLW. So I've had such a short career. Like I said, didn't touch the footy officially till I was like 19. Whereas now you've got the girls coming in who can start at grassroots footy. Like it's incredible.
Well, that talks to, you hear about the 10,000 hours to master any sport, and most kids are playing basketball or hockey or football or cricket or whatever from the age of 5 or 6 or 7, and you've just picked the sport up at 19, and you're playing at this highest level 10 years later, or even less than, when you with your time at the Crows. I mean, that's just that's a huge effort. Great achievements.
Oh yeah, and like
Incredible.
I said, I'm just absolutely honoured. And it was like there was a point in time where I was doing both basketball and football, and then my coach at basketball was like, "Mate, you're gonna have to pick one." And I said, "Well, I played footy I played basketball in Aussie hoops. So I was about 5, and I said, I've done plenty of basketball. It's time to move on." So it was like that point of time, and I'm glad I picked football.
You spoke about your dad.
Oh yes.
Who was kicking the footy with you, as a young girl in the backyard. And of course your mum would have had a huge influence as well. I know it's a difficult conversation for you, particularly around your father. But are you able to put in words what he means to you and your career and your life?
Yeah, these are happy tears. It's a place in my heart I never want filled. But he was the biggest character. He was my biggest supporter. He just said, "Mate, as long as you're happy," that's all he would say. When I dropped out of uni, he's like, "As long as you're happy." Mum did not feel the same way. My dad. But he loved me playing sport. He was out every game he could attend, and he just wanted to make sure that I was having the best life, and he gave me all that. So when I moved over to Port, he was just like, "Mate, you'll be captain one day," and he was the biggest bullshit artist ever. I said, "Dad, stop it, you're being ridiculous." Like he was so proud of his girls. He would tell everyone how great his girls were, and we're like, "Mate, come on, just pull it in a little bit." So at dinner, like, over and over again, "Mate, you're going to do great things, blah, blah, blah." And all of us would just say, "Dad, like, you're embarrassing me," actually, because of how proud he was. And I just, like, I'm not about it. I don't like, someone to praise me so much. But when the time come to put in for the vote, I was like, I didn't really want to, because I thought we've got such great young leaders coming through. I'm probably the back end of my career. I'd rather the young ones take ownership of and steer this program of where it should be headed. And then I thought, bloody hell, what would Dad say? He would be so disappointed in me if I didn't put my hand in the ring. And that was pretty much that thought process of now, like every day when I make a decision, if I'm a bit hesitant, I think, what would Phil want me to do? And then Phil would want me to put my hand in the ring, and that's what happened. And that's why it was so overwhelming when I became captain, of just like, of the little jokes we had as a family and how important it meant for him and how much we all thought how ridiculous he was speaking.
So it came true.
It came true, yeah.
He said you'd be captain of Port Adelaide one day, and you're captain. That must give you this incredible feeling of warmth and connection to your dad still every time you run out now with the number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I eventually want to get rid of the last name Mules, but I've kept it at football just to honour my dad. But I think when I run out there, or like if I'm struggling during a game, I just think back and I think of him and go, "No, I'm running to him. I'm running for my dad." So like I try to help the young ones when they're thinking like, they've got nothing left to give. It's like dig a little bit deeper, think about something outside of football, but whatever your anchor point is to help you get through those tough times. Yeah,
that phrase anchor point is so telling, like to actually keep you grounded and keep you focused. When it comes to leadership for you and success, I mean, did you win 3 flags at the Crows?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm obviously not an athlete. You can look at me and tell that straight away. But
I've seen you at the gym.
yeah, struggling. Thank you.
About you?
Thank you so
Running
much.
capability.
No, but this is the question that I always love asking Mark Bickley, who I work with. When you win a premiership at a young age, sometimes I think for some humans, mentally you can go, "I've ticked that box now, so whatever happens, happens." And there are players, like if you look at Jonathan Brown, he won his 3 premierships at the Brisbane Lions at such a young age, and then they basically bottomed out for the rest of his career. But mentally, are you satisfied? So for you, what actually drives you as a leader, as a person, for success? Because success is how you measure it. So how do you measure it?
I measure success at every training, every drill. If that not just for my own individual growth to make sure that I train how we play, but also for all the girls surrounding me. I have expectations that we're going to execute a drill. It needs to be perfect, or it doesn't need to be perfect, but you need to showcase that you're trying at the highest level. So it's not just, winning the flag is everything, but you need to get through week by week, training by training to get to that end result. So we train how we play to make sure that when it comes to game day, that we've done it over and over again, that we are prepared to be able to do and get the win on that week. So I think, and even at work, if I'm delivering a project, I've set my own time, I've got my own budget. It's like, yes, I've executed that. Woohoo! So it's not just, the end result is amazing, the premiership and getting that flag, but it's just like every day I've got little milestones or little key, I guess, drives for me that I need to tick off.
Okay, so one of the things that I admire about some of the best leaders that I surround myself with is the answer to the question of not how good a leader are you, it's where can you improve. So for you, like, where can you improve as a leader?
I think, I know I probably assume a lot. I assume that the girls, we're all on the same page. I assume that they know they need to do that a little bit better. So I need to completely wipe that off, because I need to make sure that I continue to inform and continue to educate, so that, because in 3 weeks down the track, I thought, no, the girls already knew that. But I'm thinking, actually, no, I never said that. I've just assumed that they could read my mind, that we're all on the same page. So I need to stop assuming and just make sure that if something's playing on my mind, if I think about it 3 times, I'm going to say it.
Mm.
Yeah. To have the vision, to be able to have the foresight to know where you need to improve as a leader, and some self-awareness is so important. I just want to go back to your point around winning a premiership when you're young, because I know exactly what you mean. You feel like you've lost that. Some people could feel like they've lost the appetite, the urge, because I've achieved everything.
Yeah.
You're like, now what am I playing for? I've really done it. However, you talk to the Port Adelaide SANFL players over many, many years who have won 7, 8, 6 flags, and they just say it becomes addictive. Like winning premierships, that thrill, that energy you get as a team, you almost plan to do it again and again and again and again. And that's what makes the great clubs. It's probably what made Jonathan Brown at Brisbane so successful when they won 3 in a row. They just wanted to continue to create their own history. And I guess you can reframe your thinking now, Justine, in the sense that you could be part of Port Adelaide's first ever AFLW premiership team. Now, I'm not suggesting that's going to happen immediately, because there's growth still from the preliminary final last year, but God, that's something to strive for.
Oh, absolutely. I still want to get, we want to take that win for the showdown. Like, that's
that's true.
That is a massive thing for me. Obviously coming from the Crows, like, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something underneath, I guess, something within me that I want to get crossed over the line this year. But I think the way that we've grown for the last, I guess, this being our 4th year, you can see the growth there. You can see that we've built a really good, strong foundation. We have an exciting brand of footy, and we're just going to continue to grow up. Obviously, touch base on the prelim last year, lots of growth still to go. So it'll be interesting to see how we go about on round 2 against them as well. Last
year was amazing. I mean, I still think that Hawthorn semi-final at Princes Park under lights was just phenomenal. The men's team had just had a big rivalry with Hawthorn a couple of weeks earlier, and then, what are we, 20 points down or something at 3/4 time? We'd only kicked 3 goals for the whole game.
Yeah.
And to overwhelm them, and then they hit the front late, and then we came again. Just, what was that like? That's one of the great nights in AFLW.
Yeah, that was pretty spectacular. I think just the never give up attitude. We always say, not today, not today. That is definitely one of the key messagings as a group that we try to, I guess, remind one another, is just like, make sure you win your next battle. Make sure you be in front. Make sure you beat your player. So just that mentality of not today, it's not happening today. We've still got plenty left in the tank. And then you just don't know in football. Anything can happen. So it's just always be positive. Always thinking that you're gonna do better. You're gonna win your next tackle. You're gonna win that ground ball. So it's just always keep positive, and just keep striving.
Brandon Zirk-Thatcher spent $15,000 on a card, which was like a Pokemon card or something, which we still can't get our head around. It's unbelievable. But it all started because we love speaking to him, because he's an introverted, beautiful, gentle human being. We just love him. And this is the purpose of this podcast, is to get to know the people that make up the player. And it was really interesting, Norts, and I haven't shared this with you yet. When I did this thing at the Adelaide Oval a couple of weeks ago with Boki, and he said one of the things that he's going to miss about playing football, two things. Gary Hocking said to him once, when you look out into the crowd, make sure you look at the faces of the people in the crowd. Don't just see it as a crowd. Like, actually get eye contact with them. The other thing he said, the ritual of the men's team, they put on their Guernseys at the same time.
They do.
Pre-game. Like, that's a beautiful thing for them, and it's like a togetherness. So it's not one before the other and things like that. There's intricacies about playing football at the highest level, which isn't necessarily about kicking the football or marking it. What are some of those things that you love? And then also, when you have to switch off, what are you doing? You're not buying $15,000 cards, I'm assuming.
That'd be incredible to just have $15,000 just to, I want to get a Pokemon card.
Yeah. I don't buy a $15,000 card.
Yeah.
Card.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Well, one of the things I started doing last year, as soon as, just before the bounce, essentially, I'll just tell the girls, like, we come in a huddle and I just tell them to take a big breath, because you can see the anxiety, you can see everyone's just a little bit spiraling. So I'm like, so we just come in together and just take a really big breath together. And I think that's so important, because just like, get all the energy out, because all that wasted energy of just like, that anxiety, use that, transform that into energy onto the field. So I think I love just watching all the girls just get together, and you can just see some of the young ones just still rattling in their boots, and I just think it's so funny, but I love it. So one day they'll get to the point where it won't be anxiety, it'll be excitement for the game. But I think, how do I switch off? Well, I'm so good at it. I'm so good at just sitting at home, putting my feet up, or just gardening, just little things like that, playing music and while I'm cooking, just little things in life that allows me to be able to switch off. So
Have you got a little herb garden?
No, I've actually just ripped up all the garden on last weekend. It was the only weekend I had off. So I was like, get the digger out, let's go.
Okay.
So no, not yet.
Yeah.
But
what would be your herb of choice if you had to create a herb garden? Because I'm like a big rosemary and basil kind of guy.
Basil.
Yeah, basil.
Yeah.
What about you, Norts?
No, I'm not. I'm not a gardener, and I don't.
You don't like herbs?
No.
Okay.
I don't eat vegetables. I don't. No,
What?
I do.
You
I
don't eat
do. But no, I'm not a gardener. I've got fake lawn, and
You've got fake lawn?
Righto.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, I can't. I've got time to mow the
That's
lawn.
Oh, that's a
disgusting.
lie.
Man,
Come on.
That's so bad.
I'll come over and do it for you.
What, mow his fake lawn?
No, we'll put in some fresh lawn and I can mow it for you.
Lovely, thank
Yeah.
you. We'll take you up on that.
Nothing better.
Now, a lot of you may know this. This particular lady here has got the most infectious laugh.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah? Well, we got to say
No.
something funny, mate.
Yeah, well, I thought, well, give us something. Well, we've got to make Josie laugh, because when she starts laughing, now it's known around the club, isn't it, that your laugh is just
Yeah, there's a couple of good videos. Just watch the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
like a cackle that is like beautiful to listen to, but it's very,
You're
very unusual.
twisted. You are twisted if you think that's beautiful.
Okay, so is the laugh on social media?
Yes.
How do we find it?
It'll be on, I'm going to say Instagram.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
club did one,
Yeah, it was
Okay.
pretty good.
and it was on loop. I reckon you did about 30 laughs in succession separately.
Yeah.
And it was sort of almost went into a rap song.
I like that.
Yeah. There's one of me just laughing, and then there's one of the girls imitating my laugh.
So would you laugh to put someone off if you're standing the mark and they're kicking for goal?
No, I tend to do like hyena noises or like the Avatar noise.
Or do one?
Okay.
Go on. Do it. So you're standing the mark
Yeah.
Like that.
and you're going,
Ooh, yeah. Or I just try to tell some terrible jokes. Just some inappropriate stuff. So.
They can't give you 50 for that, can they? If you're
just-
standing, it's not.
No.
Do
I'll
it
find
again.
out.
Do it one more time.
Or just anything, any animal noise that just comes out. We love making animal noises at the club.
While they're kicking for goal, the opposition.
Literally. Or I'm a bit embarrassed about this one. Or I meow.
wait, do it.
Meow. No, I'm joking. I don't do that.
Oh my God.
I'm just,
And is this
No.
one of the things that you put in your presentation to become captain?
Oh gosh, no, I better not say.
All right.
That's fine.
Well, we've run out of
Practice
time.
as a
anyway.
group, though. Practice this as as in
You know what?
Who can put them
Vergs,
opposition off?
in some of our little drills that we do for warm-up, Vergs comes out with some ridiculous things that one of our assistant coaches that we're not actually allowed to call for the bowl. So it could be just clapping, slapping your legs or making noises. So
I think to finish off the podcast with El Capitan, we should all together do the la 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 noise. So we'll say thank you. Good luck for the rest of the season. We appreciate it. And 3, 2, 1. Thanks for listening.